Cigarettes remain sort of a legal limbo in Oklahoma, not controlled by regulations, and many state lawmakers are hoping to change that. There are already 6 bills filed for this legislative session seeking to add regulations for the products. They don't contain tobacco, so current laws don't apply, and even e-cig sellers agree that some regulations are needed.
It's kind of a Wild West market right now. Most companies are self-regulating, such as ourselves.
Now, most of the current proposals focus on keeping e-cigs away from children, something that sellers we talk to say is a reasonable measure. Still, many stores fear that lawmakers may go too far and overregulate the industry. Now, we know that e-cigarettes are already banned on state property because of their unknown health risk. Device promoters and users claim that they are a safer alternative to smoking. So we went to a special lab to see what's inside those vapors. Travis Saul started using e-cigarettes, or vaping, a year ago.
Vaping, it's a way of life. I mean, if you want to quit smoking, vaping will work.
The father of 2 said he turned to e-cigarettes to quit traditional ones, an 18-year habit he wanted to kick for his family.
I'd have to go outside to smoke, and they'd want to come be around me, and I don't want them around it, you know, because the secondhand's just as bad as the initial smoking.
He's now the general manager of Vapeur, a company that sells electronic cigarettes in stores and online. Saul says he thinks they're safe.
There's less in our e-liquid than there is in the air you breathe every day.
There are no long-term health studies on electronic cigarette vapor. They contain nicotine, but work differently than tobacco cigarettes.
It heats up a mixture of nicotine, propylene glycol, and other chemicals, and that heated mixture becomes an aerosol, which is inhaled deeply into your lungs to deliver the addictive drug nicotine.
Stanton Glanz is a professor of medicine at the University of California, San Francisco, and one of the leading researchers on e-cigarettes. He believes calling vaping safe is a lot of smoke and mirrors.
If you're around somebody using e-cigarettes, you're breathing in ultrafine particles, you're breathing in nicotine.
There is now research that shows non-smokers around people using e-cigarettes have detectable levels of nicotine in their bodies. With more cities banning e-cigarettes, we wanted to do our own testing.
I would say that e-cigarettes are the cigarette of the 21st century.
Scientist Prue Talbot and her team at the University of California, Riverside were among the first in the country to analyze e-cigarettes. We tested 2 brands using this smoking machine and a specialized microscope. The first test showed us this.
There's quite a bit of tin. Most of this material is comprised of tin. There's also some oxygen, some copper, some nickel.
The e-cigarette Smoking Everywhere Platinum had so much metal in the vapor, it created this pellet.
I think the fact that there is a significant amount of tin in these pellets is important. This means people who are using this product are potentially going to be inhaling the tin.
Talbot said inhaling tin directly or secondhand can be dangerous.
Nanoparticles in general can be toxic. In the case of the e-cigarette, the nanoparticles would tend to go deeper into the respiratory system.
These particles are so very small that they actually get from your lungs straight into your bloodstream and carry the toxic chemicals into your blood, and then they appear in various organs.
For example, the Mystic e-cigarette that we tested doesn't have any tin in the vapor. Saul believes the e-cigarettes he uses are safe.
I'll probably just vape forever, honestly.
Supporters say e-cigarettes are only 10 to 20% as polluting as tobacco cigarettes, but Glenn says that's still not good.
On an absolute scale, it's still a bad thing.